Hi there everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jess, and I have been a teacher at the Community Music School for the past 2 years. It's been a wonderful opportunity, and I'm also a music major at Wilfrid Laurier University. So I don't know about all of you, but I hope you've been managing to play a bit of music at home. For me, I've been playing lots and lots of music, but I know that because of this difficult time that we're living in, it might be harder to get access to sheet music or to play some music we've been playing throughout the year. So something that brings me a lot of joy that I'd like to talk a little bit about today is improvisation. So I'll be talking about a couple tips and tricks that you can use if you'd like to try improvisation as well. So first and foremost, what is improvisation? So improvisation is defined as making up something on the spot. So it can be as simple as acting without a script, maybe telling a story on the spot that you've never told before, or randomly walking and humming a song that you've never heard before. So improvising is also known as creating, and it's just a great way to do things from complete scratch. Now that may seem really frightening if you have a piano with all of these keys and you're not sure what exactly to play, but don't worry, I will give you a couple different tips and tricks here. So the first thing that I like to do when I improvise or decide to create a song on the spot is I look at the keys and I pick what I'd like to start on. So something that you can use for yourselves that works really well for me is using what's called a scale. So a scale is a series of notes, so it's a pattern on notes that flow together and they create a really nice sound, and it usually goes from one note with the same name, so example C, and then you walk up D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So it goes from one C to the next C. You can do this on a bunch of random notes, but it's really good to start on C because every single note in the scale is a white note. So that means all you have to do is walk your hand up. So now that you have all of those notes, you know that they sound good together, and it's good because you can just start, and with both hands, you can start on either note and just play songs in that key. So that's then called a key. So you can play around with notes on there. Another pattern that I like to use to help me with improvising are triads, or what other people might call chords. So chords are what often play in the background of music you might hear. So when people are singing along, you might hear stuff like this. And chords are a lot of what people use to write songs. So it's really cool because once you know how to make chords, you can actually write your own music or choose to play chords on the spot. So how you make a chord is actually pretty simple. There are two main kinds of chords. So there's what's called a major chord or a major triad, and what's called a minor chord or a minor triad. So you'll notice that they sound a bit different, and all you have to do is pick the note you like to start on. So for me, I'm going to start on C, and I play the first note with my thumb. Then you're going to walk up every black and white note to the right, 3, 4 steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your third finger will go on that note. So for me, that's C and E. Now you're going to walk up 3 more steps to the right. So 1, 2, 3. So now I'm on G, and you play that with your pinky. And that's how you make a major triad. You'll notice that major triads sound a little bit lighter, a little bit happier. And yeah, so that's how major triads sound. For minor triads, the only change that you have to make is your thumb and your pinky are the same notes, but where your third was on the major, it just moves 1 to the left, so 1 note lower. So for me, that means that I'm playing a C, an E flat, and a G. Minor triads usually sound a bit sadder, maybe more mysterious, So they kind of sound like this. So you'll notice that major and minor definitely sound a little bit different, but they help to create some different sounds. Once you really start to get comfortable, you can play both if you want. And a really good way to help come up with things on the spot would actually be to play some triads on your left hand once you're really comfortable, and then play on your right hand. So now that we've talked a little bit about ways to structure or plan how you want to improvise or make music on the spot, there's a couple other fun things that you can do while playing that you might see a lot when you play music with your teacher or when you hear music that can help really make things different. So the first thing is to change your dynamics. So maybe starting soft and raising the volume more to loud. Also, you'll notice that my arm is out because I have a keyboard that adjusts the volume with a button. So you might find that if you have a keyboard like that, it's really interesting because you can play with your one hand and you can move up and down like this, or you could make it really fun and have a family member move the volume for you. And if you're playing on your own, to play louder, you put more pressure on. So you're just pushing down harder on the piano, while of course still being gentle and kind to your hands, not hitting, but just being harder. Kind of like you're pushing a box, and playing lighter would just be nice and gentle. You can also articulate differently. So articulation means how you play the notes, if they're separated, if they're connected, which is legato, if they're short, which is staccato, or if they have accents, which just makes them more emphasized, or you put more pressure on the note. And then one other thing that you can do, among other things, you can do any sort of dynamics or changes you want, but something I really like to do is to change the speed or tempo of when I play. So if you want to get your family involved, something fun that you can do is you can get them to say when they want to do changes. So for example, if you want to play really slow, and then they tell you to speed up, maybe they stay staccato. Slow down. Or get quieter. So, in conclusion, while there are a bunch of different patterns that you can try out while playing, the fun part about improvisation is that there are no mistakes. So it can be really fun to just sit down and play music by yourself. You could always get your family involved, get them to help you change dynamics or play with certain notes. But other than playing with scales, chords, and dynamics, articulations, and tempos, honestly, it's all about experimentation and trying new things. So I hope that this may have helped some of you interested in trying and improvising and creating your own music. And I really hope that you all have a wonderful summer. Thank you very much.